Thank you, Dr. Gopi. Good afternoon. It's a very bad time of the day to do a presentation, and people want to take a nap, so including me. So, uh, the first half of the session was very in-depth. We had a lot of presenters talking about ICT in agriculture and the experience and how to take it forward. Somehow I have this feeling that whenever we talk about ICT in agriculture, people are kind of trying to refer to IT in agriculture. The C part and the I part is given a stepmotherly treatment. Um, I'll mention an incident which will bring this issue much more clear. In one of my previous organizations, we had a very brilliant researcher. He was an environment scientist. So he was doing the classical soil erosion modeling exercise. And he tried to predict the possibility of a landslide, if condition X, Y, and Z are met. And he tried to use a rural village close to a mountain in Uganda to be able to do one of his case studies. So he said, well, in this village, if condition X, Y, and Z is met, the probability of a landslide is about 80% or 90%. And then what did he do? Like all researchers do, we publish articles. So he went ahead, wrote a nice article, and published it in a journal. Well received, well quoted, and stuff. 3 months later, all those conditions were met. There was a landslide, and 300 people died. Now, I would call him a brilliant researcher because what he predicted came true. Isn't he a brilliant researcher? But then, if you look at it from the other angle, it's completely useless science. Science is supposed to save human lives, to better our lives and stuff. But then, this thing didn't give a chance to do that. The reason is, as he himself said, well, this is the only workflow that's built into my TOR, into what I do. I'm supposed to do research, and then I'm supposed to publish. So there is no proper avenue to be able to grab the knowledge that is generated along the research that you do, to be able to take the relevant information, to be able to adapt it so that the people responsible, policy holders, policy makers, researchers, and people can make use of that information in different formats rather than just publishing it in a journal where only scientific people who are involved in scientific research are going to look at your journal. So I'll be presenting in the next 5 minutes an initiative called the CIAD. And these are the partners who are behind this initiative. And CIAD stands for the Coherence in Information for Agricultural Research for Development. What we try to do in CIAD is we try to bring about AAA, which is to advocate for the availability, accessibility, applicability, and also adaptability of agricultural research information. Why should we do this? Among other reasons, to maximize the research, maximize the impact of research, and to make public domain agricultural research information and knowledge truly accessible to all, rather than just it stays in the databases that you have inside your institute, and very selected parts of that information is being made available outside. So CIAD has a manifesto, checklist, and a pathway. I'll briefly run through all of that. The manifesto, like most of the political parties do have, so we do have a manifesto also, which is towards a knowledge common on agricultural research for development. We have a checklist. These are not mandatory conditions, but a set of conditions that would help you achieve making your information publicly available. If you would like to make your information publicly available, then these are some of the checklists, some of the items that you could follow, and see to that the information that you generate in your institute, in your organization, is made useful to many other people. Something like this. How do you develop institutional readiness? How do you increase the availability, accessibility, and applicability of research outputs? Remember, the main challenge you have especially for agricultural information managers, is that they have to put up with the very indifferent outlook, both institutional as well as individual. If you're in charge of communication in your organization, in your agricultural research organization, and you go to people and say, well, give me all your research outputs, the research that you're doing, let me see how I can make a story out of it, so that it can immediately reach the people who would benefit from that information. Most often people don't. Most of people don't give the information. Again, you have the institutional mindset. What to share, what not to share, how to share, and at what level do you need to share. And then you have the technology challenge, which is there. Then the human capacity in itself. How do you share it? When do you share it? In what format do you need to share? So all these challenges are there when you're talking about sharing agricultural research information in any organization. So these are some of the checklists that will help you develop that particular readiness. You have pathways, which are a set of examples of other institutes who have been able to do these kinds of information sharing, which you can see from other examples and try to see if you can replicate that in your organization. So these are a set of how-to guides, how to develop institutional readiness, how to have open access registry in my institute, how to share my research output, how to communicate. So these are some of the guidelines that it's gathered from other organizations which have been able to do this. The CIAD ring is an infrastructure for interoperability of agriculture research information. This is sort of yellow pages for agricultural service. The reason behind this is, if you're an agricultural institute who is trying to put your organization online, you would like to have a couple of services. And in most cases, those services have already been developed by someone else in some other part of the world. All that you need to do is to just be able to consume it. You don't need to recreate the wheel, thereby saving valuable time and energy. So this is a set of services, like I said, it's a yellow pages for agriculture information services. If you'd like to make use of this, all that you need to do is the metadata through which these have been, through which you can consume this, and then integrate these services into your organization, and maybe customize it a little bit so that you can make it useful for your. So what's the objective? So the objective is to facilitate, enable the creation of value-added information services that allow search, collate, and integrate information from various sources, acting as a gateway to information sources. Remember, the ring is not a place where you can go and make use of a service. It's just a gateway. So you can reach other services through the CIAD ring. So you go to the CIAD ring and say, well, I'd like to know if anyone has a service which generates an RSS related to drought in this region. And then you can look for it. And then there might be an organization which already has an RSS developed in that way. You just need to know, integrate it into your website to be able to consume that service. So what you need to know for this is the awareness of what others have done, what sources are available, which you can search from the ring, how to tap into them, and how to exploit their semantics. These two together is what I was calling as metadata. You need to know what sort of metadata is needed for the people who have to consume your service. So if you have a very excellent service related to agriculture information, you would like to put it up in the open for people to be able to use it and benefit from that, you need to add your service together with the required metadata, which will help people who want to consume that information to be able to access it better. So anyone who has an agriculture information service can register their service in the ring. The URL is given there, ciad.net/ring.
Thank you very much.